again during the upcoming 2025 CDOC address, The Road Ahead, on June 3rd at 11 a.m.
Thanks for that plug again. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
We're going to move on to Prison Ops with Deputy Director Mark Fairbairn. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good afternoon.
What is the direction for supervisors who have newly hired intelligence staff whose English is their second or even third language but struggle with their accent? And what resources are available to help them with this?
Okay, so thank you. So first of all, I would say that cultivating a supportive work environment is important not only for supervisors, but every member of our department. So I think when we see a barrier, whether it's this or another that's identified, I think the supervisors and fellow staff need to take the initiative to give the appropriate assistance to them and offer those resources. And I know part of this question is what resources are available to help with this. In this specific instance, this depends on each individual's level and challenges. So I think the best approach to this specific one would be the open communication and offering assistance, and more importantly, the inclusive and belonging, making that staff feel comfortable to seek that assistance.
Well said. Why is security in the clinic not a permanent post? Why is it not mandatory that there be at least 2 security officers assigned at the clinic and at least 1 security officer inside the clinic at all times when inmates are present?
So that's a great question. And of course, security is one of the most important things, the most important thing we do inside our facilities and in our department. But each different facility, they all house a different population and all have different security concerns. So that is what determines the staffing in each facility. So for this question specifically, I would ask them that if they have concerns in regards to this, to reach out to their management team and voice those concerns. And then, of course, if they're not satisfied or have additional questions, feel free to reach out to either me or the other Deputy Director, Dave Lezak. But I do want the staff to keep in mind that the same offenders that are in the clinic, they're also in classrooms, they're in group sessions with therapists, in programs, and with no security presence as well. So that's why staff receive the training they do, all staff throughout our department, to address these issues with offenders.
Thank you. Why doesn't the resource pool at each facility get incentive pay like other classifications?
So thank you. So the incentive pay, it was provided to designated staff, and it was established within our partnership agreement. Of course, the department would love to provide this pay to all of its staff, as we believe everyone plays an important role in the operations. We do appreciate staff as well that are assisting with this post coverage, because we know that it is cumbersome, inconvenient, takes away from their normal job duties. As a side note, an email was just sent out from our communications department that as of June 30th, the incentive pay was discontinued for everyone with the exception of nursing staff. So that's just a side note.
Are we able to bring back 12-hour shifts anytime soon?
So that's a great question. And we are still examining the potential for 12-hour scheduling in specific areas of our facility. And this process doesn't involve close collaboration with our appointing authorities of those facilities and labor relations, as any schedule or implementation change must adhere to our partnership agreement. But we are still examining that and looking into it. So we are looking at it.
What is the expected range of supervision of a lieutenant and captain in the department? So how many people is one supervisor expected to supervise at one time?
So this is a great question as well. I would say for whoever this question is specifically, that they should reach out to their supervisor and their appointing authority if they have concerns. But because this, again, ranges depending on the facility, security levels, and also the position. A shift commander in a facility may have more staff assigned to them than a housing supervisor, or vice versa. Staff in higher level facilities may supervise more staff just because of the staffing ratios of units compared to lower custody units. But if there's a concern that they're over capacity or they're struggling with that, they should definitely speak with their appointing authority.
Would it be possible for a CPO to contact a facility like CSP to prior a shift and to volunteer for upcoming shift to alleviate forced doubles?
So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to all the parole staff that are doing this and assisting us. So both prison ops and the Division of Adult Parole have an existing process in place where community parole officers or team leaders, they can sign up for overtime at designated areas. Right now, Denver Complex, Sterling, and CSP are all approved for this. So if staff would like to participate in the overtime operations, can sign up. All they have to do is inform their supervisor or manager in the parole division. And we make sure that this list meets all the partnership guidelines as noted. And it's a collaboration between us and parole. So we do appreciate the help.
Great. We're already doing that. Great. Why are so many office doors closed at headquarters when staff are clearly in the office? I thought we had an open door policy. Is this not a safety issue? Is this not a safety issue since front lobby officers can't do rounds in the units to make sure staff are okay?
So first of all, I do want to say that all of our departments do encourage open communication and the open door policy. Staff often leave their doors open when the office is available. However, sometimes there is meetings and it does require the door to be closed. And with complete transparency, sometimes we forget to prop the door. If an office door is closed and you do need to get in contact with someone in that office, I would suggest reaching out to them via chat, phone, email, as well. Staff that are in the front lobby or security staff here at headquarters do have access to all the doors here at headquarters, so they can make rounds in every office here.
How can someone force you to change your work assignment to a different schedule? This staff member was told that she is being forced to move to swings. There's nothing in policy that I read so far that says that this person should be forced to move into a different schedule.
So first of all, appointing authorities do their best to maintain the consistency of staff schedules. We understand the impact it has on people's personal lives. However, there is designated times where staffing changes or implementations need to happen where we do have to move staff around to maintain consistent operations inside our facilities. When this happens, though, we make sure we're in close collaboration with our labor relations department and meet all the agreements in the partnership agreement, specifically in Article 14.2 that gives a specific notice of the shift change. But I think the most important part of this is these are not decisions that are made lightly, as every appointing authority understands that impact on staff's personal lives.
Last question for you. Are there any non-exempt positions or classifications that are prohibited from covering overtime, custody, and control shifts? And can you describe a situation in which a non-exempt employee would be prohibited overtime shifts and overtime pay versus comp time?
So this would happen if a non-exempt employee did not have the proper training or certifications to hold the post that is needed to be covered. So an example would be a non-exempt employee that is not armed transport certified, and an armed transport certified staff is needed for a hospital duty or transport. That would limit it to a specific staff with that training or certification. So